Since it's the latest news and everything else, I guess I'm gonna have to talk about the Oberon Prime Access Pack that was discovered after the 20.4.5 update landed on Xbox. It has almost kind of maybe, but it is still subject to change confirmed that Oberon Prime, the Silva and Aegis Prime, and the Cybaris Prime are in fact the next primes. I mean, the scrolling screenshot here kind of told us that. Looking at the stats, however, these are what are subject to change, and I wasn't really going to mention. Oberon Prime coming in with a Mastery Rank 8 will have 125 health, which is what he has normally, 100 shields, which is what he has normally, 225 armor, which is more than the 150 he has, and 175 power, which is more than he has normally. So he has an increase in armor and power, which has kind of become the standard for all primes. Armor and power seems to be what goes up. Some get shields, some get health instead of armor. It's not a huge change. The big change with him seems to solely come visually. Those horns make him look a lot more like he should. This is actually an Aroka Prime more than Oberon Prime, because it has a very Egyptian feel to the horns and the stuff on the back. That's pretty much it. From the rest of it, it is very clear this is more than likely Oberon. The Cybaris Prime looks like it's going to be a Mastery Rank level 14, and from what it says, it's going to be 33 impact, 33 puncture, and 34 slash, which gives it a total of 100 damage. The normal Sybaris was 23.1 impact, puncture, and 23.8 slash. The Dex had less damage, but more crit. I don't particularly want to get into the whole crit chance of these, because it is 35% crit chance with a 2.5 times multiplier. But the reason that these are kind of not worth paying that much attention to is these are things that are subject to change over time. The weapons and such may be kind of fixed and locked in by now, but the stats to them aren't, as we found out with the Cybaris Prime that people were saying had 4,000 to 6,000 damage on it, and it came out and it had half that. Then of course there is the Silva and Aegis. Somebody's going to have to tell me how to pronounce this wrong, because I'm going to get wrong for pronouncing this completely wrong. It will have a status increase from the look of it, but it is going to be a Mastery level 12 weapon, which I've had a few people mention to me today that Mastery rank 14 for the Cybaris isn't really that much of a big deal, but it only does 100 damage. The Oberon Prime from Banshees was a lot more damage, and that wasn't a really high Mastery rank level anyway. But unlike the Cybaris Prime, the Silva and Aegis is going from 35 to 120 damage, with an increase in crit. The crit damage is also going up, the status is also going up. It seems that the big buff here is on this and not the Cybaris, and it's going to be the Cybaris Prime that a lot of people will be going for. This is possibly going to be overlooked, and it is a really nice looking, what was it called, a shield and blade style weapon? But as I have mentioned in the past, the reason I don't tend to cover this quote-unquote data mined information, even though that's what's being classed as, but really it's just leaked information because it was visible for a very short period when 20.4.5 went live. I think most of the information has come from Xbox. Same as it was when Banshee was due to come out. It was accidentally available there so people could actually see it. Hence the reason that we know that the Sukira Prime Syandana, I nearly called it Sugatra again, and the Aroka Prime Sugatra are going to be things. That's going to be the two things for the Prime accessories, ignoring the boosters of course. But keeping all of that in mind, you do have to remember that a lot of the stats on these, because it isn't officially released yet, is likely to change, or could be likely to change. Whereas the models, because they're in the game, This just confirms that Oberon, the Silva and Aegis and the Cybaris are definitely going to be the next primes, and I'm not really sure. The Cybaris Prime looks pretty nice, the Silva and Aegis looks pretty nice, but Oberon looks kind of weird. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.